Hi there, let's do part 2 and finish up going over the answers to your topic 2 questions. We left off at number 6 and we already talked about this. So let's do number 7. It says use an example to explain how an animal living hundreds of kilometers away from an area sprayed with DDT might still get DDT in its body. Well, as you know, organisms, in other words, they move around in an ecosystem, and so unlike plants, as you go up a food chain, organisms that are higher up, because of their ability to locomote, they could come into an area that's been sprayed and start eating those organisms. Number 8. It says DDT is stored in body fat and remains toxic for many years. Explain why these characteristics are undesirable in a pesticide. Even though it's the fat tissue that usually stores it, but then what happens is fat tissue stays in the body a long time, which means it can affect other areas like your kidneys. Okay, it can affect reproduction and therefore your offspring. And so even though, especially if it's just in a lower concentration, even though it's in the organism, it could affect that organism for many generations because of this. What would be better is to have something that's water soluble. What that means is if the toxic pesticide was water soluble, our kidneys could excrete it out of the body. Okay, it could get rid of it as waste. But most pesticides aren't. Okay, they're fat soluble. Fat soluble means they're stored in the fat tissue and your kidneys have a hard time getting rid of it. Let's skip 9 and 8, or number 9, and let's go to question 11. Here's question 11. It says the table below provides DDT levels in various parts per million found in the eggs of 3 birds. The eggs are sampled from Canada's east coast. Pesticide levels among the bird eggs are a good indicator of the environment. So study the data and answer the questions. So the question, first one, says describe differences between pesticide levels in bird eggs from nesting sites around the Bay of Fundy and those from bird eggs around the Atlantic coast. So here's the Bay of Fundy and here's the Atlantic coast. And what are the differences? Okay, the Bay of Fundy have higher pesticide levels, okay, compared to these. So why is that? Well, it's probably, if you look at the geography, there's way more agriculture here. Okay, it's agricultural based. And so therefore, around the Bay of Fundy, there's more spraying of chemicals. Next, question B. Describe changes in pesticide levels from 1972 to 84. Okay, 1972 to 84. And what has happened is it appears that these levels decrease when we go from 1972 to 84. So they go down, and using DDT in Canada became restricted in 1969. It decreased, so we decreased levels. So we started to realize how bad they were, and by 1969 there was a reduction in the use of DDT, and that's why. Question C, describe differences in pesticide levels found in different species of birds. So for example, this one compared to the double-crested compared to this. So what do you notice? The double-crested are there. So different species of birds have different amounts of body fat, and that's where DDT is stored. Species with the greatest body fat could also have a higher concentration of DDT. For example, the double-crested cormorants seem to have the highest concentrations. Okay, and so they also feed on larger organisms. Bye for now.